Hello everyone, this is your friend Naruto Fix, and we are back with another epic What If Naruto fanfic. Which is, what if Naruto was sent to train in the Hidden Cloud Village? If you love Naruto fanfics, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey with me. So, let's start the fanfic. The winds of change often come slowly, quietly, until one day they will through history like a storm. For Naruto Uzumaki, that change came when the third Hokage was forced to make a controversial but strategic decision. After the Chunin exams incident with Orochimaru, Konoha was left weakened and vulnerable. The village needed alliances more than ever, and the Cloud Village, despite its rocky past with Konoha, was rising in power and influence under the leadership of the fourth Raikage. Word had spread, the Cloud had created a new training program, Weapons of Peace, designed to produce shinobi capable of protecting the fragile balance between nations. As part of a peace pact, each major village would send one young shinobi to represent them. Against Naruto's loud protests, Tsunade, newly declared Hokage, made the decision. Naruto Uzumaki was to be Konoha's representative in the Cloud's new program. Leaving Konoha, Naruto didn't take it well. All he wanted was to stay in Konoha, become stronger, and earn the respect of the people in his village. But now he was being sent away, again. First Jiraiya's constant travels, now this. Tsunade knew the risk. Naruto's ties to the Nine Tails made him a target for Akatsuki. But so did keeping him in Konoha, especially while the village was in recovery. Listen, brat, Tsunade said, placing a firm hand on his shoulder. You're not being sent away. You're being trusted. You're being chosen. And if you want to become Hokage one day, you need to understand that the world is bigger than Konoha. Naruto left in silence, but with a burning promise in his heart. Arrival in Kumogakure. The Hidden Cloud Village was unlike anything Naruto had seen. The mountains were jagged and snow-dusted, the air crisp with altitude. Shinobi here were built like soldiers, strong, fast, battle-tested. The lightning crackling through the clouds above felt like a reflection of the energy within the village. Waiting at the gates was Killer Bee, full of swagger and rhymes, welcoming Naruto with a grin and a beatbox. Yo, Nil, Fox Boy from the Leaf, you're looking kinda frazzled, but you'll find some relief, up here with the bee, you'll make a warrior of Ya, see? Ya feel me, Naruto stared. What? Bee laughed and threw an arm around him. Don't worry, bro, I must show you the Cloud Flow. But it wasn't just Bee. The Cloud Village was a haven for unique and powerful techniques. Most notably, lightning release, physical training, kenjutsu, team coordination like no other. And Naruto was now in the heart of it all. Training begins. Naruto didn't ease into training, he was thrown into it. The Raikage himself tested Naruto on day 1, with a direct punch to the gut that sent him flying. It wasn't out of hatred, it was a test. Strength, Raikage said. Speed, resolve, your body holds the 9 tails. But your mind must hold something greater. Show me you can rise, not just as a vessel, but as a ninja. Quote, Naruto gritted his teeth. His body shook, but he got up. That was all the Raikage needed to see. A new kind of power. It didn't take long for Naruto to find what he needed in the Cloud. Focus. Discipline. Techniques that worked with both his style and potential. Lightning release training sharpened his reflexes. Chakra control methods in the Cloud weren't like anything he'd seen back home. Fast, precise, overwhelming. Then there was Bee's influence. You're all hot, bro, but check the flow, balance the beast, let your soul glow. Bee trained Naruto not just in Jinchuriki control, but in rhythm. In harmony, Naruto began moving with Kurama's chakra, not just using it. He started learning how to channel it evenly across his body, boosting strength and awareness beyond what he'd managed before. He even learned basic rate and augmented taijutsu, and sparred with Bee using wooden versions of the famed double sword style. And then, something unlocked. In the heat of training, surrounded by lightning, Naruto felt Kurama's chakra shift, interacting with the Cloud's nature energy in a way he hadn't noticed before. A flicker of orange, a spark of blue, and then, a swirl of red lightning flickered across his body. He almost dropped his sword. What was that, build, bro? He asked, stunned. Naruto looked down at his hands, trembling with excitement. I think, I just made a new type of chakra. Dash dash dash. Trouble brewing. The peace never lasts long. Akatsuki was moving. They had intel on a Jinchuriki leaving his home village, and they wanted him isolated. Meanwhile, the Raikage was growing suspicious of Konoha's obligations. Old wounds resurfaced when shinobi from the Leaf came to check in on Naruto. Tensions began to rise, but Naruto wasn't the same kid who'd left Konoha. Not anymore. He had a village behind him, the one in the clouds. And soon, the world was going to feel the storm he'd become. Building the cloud's legacy within him. While Raikage A was a symbol of raw power, Killer B represented perfect balance. Between them, Naruto found something the Leaf never gave him, intense physical strengthening and a structured bond with Kurama's chakra. Naruto's day started before sunrise. He woke up to the sound of thunder shaking the mountains and spent most of the morning doing brutal mountain runs with weight. Egg best. Then came chakra flow exercises, unlike anything Kakashi or Iruka had ever shown him. The Cloud Ninja taught Naruto how to fill his muscles with chakra instantly, boosting his strength explosively without losing stamina. They focused on control and mastery, not chaos. Your chakra's a raging wave, he would say, but a wave guided by the moon. That's a force no shinobi can stand against. Naruto listened. He didn't always understand, but he felt the truth. Dash dash dash. First glimpse of lightning chakra mode. It happened during one of Raikage A's elite drills, Raiden, body flow training. I hovered like a storm god over the training arena, thunder crackling in his muscles, speed-breaking sound waves as he dashed through targets faster than Naruto could blink. The goal was simple and cruel. Naruto had to chase Raikage A, not catch him, just touch his shoulder while he ran. Naruto tried everything. Shadow clones, raising them, even attempting to pre-mark the area with chakra chains. But it was a blur. His speed was beyond what Naruto could track. Hours passed. Naruto breathed heavy. Sweat poured. His limbs ached. Yet he refused to give up. Why can't I get faster? Naruto growled, fists clenched, tears stinging his eyes. He stepped in, placing a hand on Naruto's back. Yo, listen kid. Speed ain't just footwork. It's flow. It's timing. Sync your chakra with your movement. Don't force it. Feel it. Naruto closed his eyes and focused. He tried to let his chakra move with his body instead of being pushed by it. That's when something shifted. His chakra didn't spill outward. It wrapped tight around his skin, like a sheath of energy pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. Bright, hot, electric. Naruto's eyes opened, and suddenly, he was gone. Not vanished, but moving. Fast. Lightning cracked in his wake as he dashed forward, each step synchronized with pulsing chakra. He was on Raikage A's trail. And then, tap. Naruto's hand hit A's back. The field went silent. Even the clouds seemed to pause. Raikage looked back, eyes wide, and then he laughed. A thunderous roar of approval. You did it, brat. You tapped into something only a handful in my village have ever mastered. Lightning chakra mode, your own way. Naruto stood there, breathing hard, electricity flickering around his body like a second skin. Not bad, beat brat, Raikage slow. Not bad at all, dash dash dash. New bonds in the clouds. As Naruto continued to grow, he gained not only strength, but respect. Kurui, Omoi, Samui, Cloud Shinobi who once doubted him, now began sparring with him, training beside him, sharing meals with him. They admired his tenacity, his refusal to break, his open heart, and something changed in Naruto too. This wasn't just another mission. The cloud was becoming a part of him. One night, while Naruto sat under the stars atop a snowy cliff, Omoi joined him. You know, Omoi murmured, the first time I met you, I thought you were a reckless idiot. But now, he smirked. Now I think you're a strong, reckless idiot. Naruto smiled and lay back. I'll take that. Quote, and for the first time since leaving Konoha, Naruto didn't feel like an outsider anymore. Dash dash dash. first encounter with the Akatsuki. It happened without warning. A storm was raging across the Cloud Mountains, lightning crackling, thunder rumbling, when a sinister chakra presence invaded the village. Perimeter. A lone Cloud shinobi barely escaped to sound the alarm. Naruto and V rushed to the scene, only to find the intruder waiting, calmly, both billowing in the wind. Kisame Hoshigaki, one of the 7 swordsmen, one of Akatsuki's strongest. You're a hard one to track, Naruto Uzumaki, Kisame drawled, shark-like eyes glinting. The orders are orders. The 9 tails comes with me. V grinned as he twirled his swords and cracked his neck. Yo, Bluefish, this ain't your dish. Time to sink or swim, you fool, I'll show you Cloud Call. But Naruto didn't run. He stepped forward, and instead of fear, Kisame saw fire in his eyes, and something else flickering around his body. Lightning. Careful, kid, Kisame smirked, lifting his massive blade. That look in your eyes. That's what makes the hunt fun. V lunged in with a double-bladed strike, and Kisame met him head-on. Massive chakra clashing between swords like a tidal wave in a lightning storm colliding. Naruto felt Kurama stir inside him. He's too dangerous. Naruto nodded. Time slowed down. Lightning shot through his body. Shadow clones launched from the rocks. And Naruto, drenched in crackling red-orange chakra, teleported mid-dash using his new technique. Thunder flash, 9-path step. For just a second, Kisame's eyes widened. Quote dot dot dot. Fast. Naruto's fist, infused with lightning and Kurama's chakra, slammed into Kisame's jaw, cracking the earth beneath them. The battlefield lit up with lightning and chakra waves, and Kisame grinned like a demon. Perfect, he whispered, Frill. Dash dash dash. The Cloud's first shield. The battle grew wild, explosive, relentless, but this time, Naruto wasn't alone. He wasn't protecting a village that doubted him. He wasn't running from problems. He was standing with people who believed in him. The lightning, the fox, the wall of fire, and the Cloud's unstoppable force. All in one boy, Naruto Uzumaki. And as lightning stormed the sky and Akatsuki met resistance they hadn't planned for. Naruto made a silent vow. I will protect the Cloud. I will protect the League. I will protect this world. No matter where he trained. Because a true Hokage wasn't defined by a village, but by the people he protected. The first month Naruto spent in Kumogakure was a whirlwind of mental and physical challenges. The Cloud Village was nothing like Konoha. The atmosphere was charged with intensity. Lightning chakra was everywhere, crackling in the air, powering the training grounds, fueling the will of the shinobi who walked with pride in every step. Naruto had been placed under the guidance of Omoi and Kirui at first, not because they insisted he was weak, but because the Raikage wanted to evaluate his true potential before assigning him someone suitable. Omoi was scatterbrained and pinpoint precise with a sword, and Kirui was brutally honest, refusing to sugarcoat anything, especially Naruto's glaring weaknesses in taijutsu and discipline. You're strong, Naruto, Omoi would say, chewing on a straw thoughtfully, but your focus slips. You want too much, too fast. You can't just rush this. Mastering new jutsu takes more than half. It takes timing, accuracy, rhythm, like a blade's movement. Those words stuck with Naruto every day, but something else happened, something that would change Naruto forever. Dash dash dash. The night of the lightning summer. Late one night, after an exhausting training session, Naruto sensed a familiar surge of chakra. He followed it through the rocky pathways of the Cloud Village and found Kirby, sitting atop a cliff, the full moon behind him, rapping quietly to himself as Ace. He wrote lyrics in a notebook. Yo, Naruto, kid of the League. You look lost, like you got beat. But ain't no grief, the storm in ahead. Train the body, train the head. Naruto smiled, sitting beside V. I thought you were busy, Naruto said. Kage's orders are a maze, but I can teach you my ways. If you got the heart to go the distance, not just blades. Naruto knew what he meant. The 8 tails Jinchuriki could train Naruto to wield the power of the 9 tails, really wield it. But this kind of training would be brutal, exhausting, and very likely painful. I want that power, Naruto finally said. Not just to be strong, but to protect everyone. To protect the ones who believe in me. Quote, B nodded. That's a rhyme that'll stand the test. Better get ready to tame the rest. Dash dash dash. Chapter 4, The Hell of Chakra Control. We dragged Naruto into the Valley of Clouds and Lightning, a sacred ground said to have been shaped by the very first Raiden. It was here that Naruto would first begin his training to link with the Nine Tails chakra, for real. The method was similar to what B had done to control the Eight Tails, but adapted to Naruto's unique nature of pure emotional instinct. The ritual began with Naruto entering his own subconscious, facing the towering cage of the Kyuubi, its burning red eyes locked onto his soul. So, you think you can tame me? The Kyuubi growled, claws gripping the bar. You're even more of a fool than your father. Naruto didn't back down. I'm not planning to tame you. I'm gonna work with you, whether you like it or not. The Kyuubi snarled, but this time, Naruto didn't back off. He remembered what Killer Bee had told him before entering. It's not about controlling the beast. It's about facing it, accepting it, understanding it. Naruto stood tall, even as the oppressive aura of hatred and raw chakra flooded his senses. The mental battle was intense, more intense than anything Naruto had ever faced. Every mistake meant another surge of violent emotion from the Kyuubi. Every moment of doubt gave the beast more ground. But Naruto wasn't the same boy he used to be. He no longer feared being alone. And in one of the rarest moments, even the Kyuubi paused, watching Naruto as he stood, blood trickling from his nose, puffing with exhaustion but still refusing to break. You're stubborn, the Kyuubi muttered. Naruto smirked. Now you see it. Dash dash dash. First breakthrough, Chakra Cloak Stage 1. Outside, he was watching closely. The swirls of golden chakra emanating from Naruto's body began to churn faster and faster. The usual violent red tinge was now becoming something brighter, something divine. Naruto opened his eyes, filled with burning determination. He had unlocked the first stage of Kyuubi Chakra Cloak, but unlike before, there was no berserk rage. Only focused power. Yo, that's a blazing start. You've got the heart, and you're playing your part. Even the Raiden, watching from a distance in the shadows, felt a twinge of recognition. Naruto Uzumaki was more like Minato than anyone had ever seen before. Dash dash dash. Meanwhile, in Konoha, Tsunade was tense. Naruto had been gone for months, and while diplomatic reasoning had been given, the emotions inside every beat shinobi were growing complex. Sakura couldn't keep herself from worrying. Kakashi was worried, too, though he hid it behind that indifferent mask. And then came the whispering rumor that Naruto wasn't just training in Kumo, but being prepared as a future unified figure between nations. A living bridge, a living weapon. Tsunade-sama, Shikamaru said quietly during a council meeting. We're going to have to decide something very soon. Because if the Cloud is training Naruto for something beyond what we expected, we need to prepare. Politically and personally, Tsunade sighed, rubbing her temple. Naruto, what's happening to you out there? The first true breakthrough with the Nine Tails chakra brought a change in Naruto, one that everyone around him could feel. The air seemed to vibrate with controlled energy every time he stepped onto the training field. The wild, feral flares of chakra he'd once struggled with now manifested as radiant pulses of power. B was impressed. The Eight Tails was even more intrigued. His soul's got rhythm, Yuki rumbled from inside B's consciousness. Not just that, but a fierce will to move forward, even if it means tearing apart what's holding him back. Quote, B nodded silently, watching Naruto run chop sequences with Omoi and Karui. Though Naruto had always possessed extraordinary stamina and a fierce instinct for battle, his physical movements were evolving into something cleaner, more precise. Killer Bee had introduced him to the importance of rhythm and flow, an approach that matched both Kenjutsu and Taijutsu training. You've been living your life like a hurricane, but now you're learning to move like a steady rain. Quote, those words became Naruto's new focus. For every flash he clone he threw, he would make him do 10 simple sword strikes. For every raising him he wanted to spam, he forced him into taijutsu forms that emphasized movement economy. But something still wasn't clicking. Dash dash dash. Flashpoint, Naruto vs. Omoi, The Clash of Shinobi Paths. Near the end of the second month, Omoi challenged Naruto in a spar unlike any they'd had before. The stakes weren't declared, but Naruto could feel it in the air. This wasn't training. This was a test. I like you, Naruto, Omoi began, unsheathing his sword. But you're still fighting like a kid. You rush him because you believe your own energy will always win the day. That's not how shinobi survive. Naruto grinned. You saying I should give up? I'm saying you need to think before you fight. Not just during. The duel began. Naruto led with shadow clones, trying to overwhelm Omoi, but the Cloud Shinobi cut through them with effortless precision. Every movement Omoi made was low energy but devastatingly efficient. He parried, pivoted, and struck forward. Naruto made the mistake of jumping too high, a bad habit Kakashi had tried to break back into Noah. Too much motion, Omoi muttered, kicking Naruto in the stomach and slamming him to the ground. But Naruto didn't stay down long. A shinobi's life isn't just about survival, Naruto said, pulling himself up. It's about protecting others. I won't change that, but I can change how I do it. Naruto gathered himself and shifted gears. Instead of relying on flashy ninjutsu, he stayed grounded, focused, moved with his opponent instead of against them. When he finally caught Omoi off guard with a chakra-infused feint followed by a lightning fast kick, even Omoi was surprised. You're learning, Omoi said, holding his stomach as he got up. Maybe you'll make a Cloud Shinobi yet. Quote, Naruto smirked. Nah, I'll make being elite shinobi something the whole world takes seriously. Chapter 6, The Storm of Hearts, The Peace Within. These training wasn't just physical, it was emotional. The Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails knew better than anyone the internal conflict that came with carrying a beast. His rap lyrics weren't just jokes, they were unfiltered identity, the way he refused to let the world control how he saw himself. One night, after another grueling session in the Valley of Clouds and Lightning, he confronted Naruto about something that hadn't been spoken about yet. You've been quiet, he said, skipping a rock into the pond. Not like your usual style. Naruto stared at the reflection in the water. For once, he didn't see the brash, loud kid from the academy. He saw someone other people were watching now. Depending on, back in Konoha, I always wanted people to see me, Naruto learned. Now that they do, I'm scared of disappointing them. Scared that if I fail, it won't just be me who pays for it. We hummed, a low, wise vibration. Yo, look inside, fear ain't weak. It makes you think, makes you see. Don't hide from doubt, let it ground your feet. That's how you turn your pain to heat. Naruto looked at Lee, stunned by the sudden clarity of his words. He continued, his tone shifting. You ain't just carrying a fox, Naruto. You're carrying people's hopes, but you've got to balance them with your own. A Jinchuriki ain't just a vessel, it's a bridge. Between rage and reason, power and purpose. The words went deeper than Naruto expected. He closed his eyes, and for the first time since arriving in Kumo, he felt at peace. Even the Kyuubi, inside his subconscious, seemed quieter. Watching, waiting, Chapter 7, The Raikage's Judgment. The time had come. The Raikage, had been watching Naruto from afar for months. Now, with the Chunin exams approaching, he called for Naruto personally. The meeting room was intimidating, lined with lightning elders, advisors, Jonin captains from various nations who had been invited to observe. Naruto stood tall, facing the man who was as strong as any cage could be. You have improved, Raikage said, his voice stern but not cold. You harnessed your tail-piece chakra better than anyone expected. You honed skills in Kenjutsu, Taijutsu, and War chakra control, combining them with the instincts only you possessed. Quote, Naruto didn't speak, he stayed respectful. But strength is not enough. A shinobi must know his place in the world. So I will ask you only once, Naruto Uzumaki, why do you seek power? Naruto breathed in. That's easy, he said. To protect the people I love. To stop the cycle of hatred. To make sure no one has to grow up alone like I did. There was silence. Then the Raikage did something unexpected. He smiled. A worthy answer. One your father would have given. Naruto's eyes widened. The room stirred. You will represent Kumogakure in the upcoming Chunin exams, the Raikage continued. But not as a cloud shinobi. As a shinobi of peace. And as a rival the world must acknowledge. For Naruto, that was enough. Chapter 8. The Gathering Winds, Konoha takes notice. Word spread fast. Naruto Uzumaki would be competing in the Chunin exams representing Kumo's interest. Back in Konoha, the reaction was mixed, rage from some, fear from others, give and treat from all. Shikamaru sat alone in the strategy room. He's gonna cause a storm, he muttered, looking over the latest intel. And when that storm hits, alliances are going to shift. Tsunde's face was grim but thoughtful. Maybe this is how he brings change, she finally said. Or maybe we've just given the Cloud one of the strongest wildcards in the entire shinobi world. Quote, Sakura sat quietly nearby, clenching her hands. Naruto, don't forget us, she whispered. Kakashi stood by the window, mask hiding his thoughts, but his visible eye was filled with emotion. Minato-sensei, it's happening all over again, isn't it? Quote, End of Part 1. Naruto, now transformed by the intense lightning-lit atmosphere of Kumo, stands at the gates of a new world. The Chunin exams are no longer just about promotion, they are a diplomatic battlefield, an arena where the next generation of shinobi will define the balance of power left. For years to come, Naruto Uzumaki, son of the Yellow Flag, bearer of the Nine Tails, student of the Jinchuriki, warrior of the storm, the world is watching. Naruto's life in the hidden Cloud Village, Kumogakure, was far different from anything he had ever known in Konoha. From the moment he stepped foot into the floating terrain of the mountain village, surrounded by endless clouds, the atmosphere felt charged with intense, electric energy. The shinobi here moved with purpose. Their posture, their tone, it all screamed military discipline, power, and pride. And Naruto was determined not to fall behind. The first shot, the Lightning Academy. Within the first week, Naruto was introduced to the Lightning Release Academy, an elite facility meant to train only the most promising genin and Chunin. Unlike the academy in Konoha, where students learned a broad range of techniques, this academy focused purely on lightning release, kenjutsu, physical transformation, and high-intensity combat. Naruto's first lightning trial, a room full of metallic poles, each charged with lightning chakra. The task, move from one side to the other without getting hit. Most Cloud shinobi navigated it gracefully, their bodies bending and weaving light bolts of chakra themselves. Naruto wasn't so lucky. His hand grazed a pole. ZZAP. A wave of electric pain ran up his arm and dropped him to his knees. He clenched his teeth, trying to fight through it, but every muscle in his body was spasming. And yet, when it was over, Naruto laughed. Kami, this place is nuts. I love it. Even the instructor, a stern black-haired jonin named Pine, couldn't help but smirk. The boy was reckless, foolish, but the spirit was something another world might forge into greatness. Meeting Killer Bee, the start of a broader journey. After 2 weeks of physical and chakra conditioning, Naruto was given an unexpected honor, assigned to train with Killer Bee, the Eight-Tails Jinchuriki himself. Yo, what I know. Got a blonde kid ready to grow. These rap was met with blank confusion from Naruto, but the Jinchuriki laughed and slapped Naruto on the back hard enough to make him stumble. Over the next days, he pushed Naruto beyond mere chakra control. He started teaching him taijutsu mixed with chakra flow, how to read movements in combat, and even began to train him in sword basics. Can't just hold a blade, got to become the thread of the sword, he would say, demonstrating his flowing, unpredictable kenjutsu. Naruto tried to mimic him, not perfectly, but with shocking versatility. His unpredictability became an advantage. Every swing, every dash, it was wild, yet slowly growing refined. Naruto's body glowed with blue chakra as he learned to channel wind and lightning simultaneously, a combination even beat. Marveled at. This kid, he's something else. Rising conflict, the Raikage's challenge. When Naruto reached his second month in Kumo, he was summoned to the Raikage's private chamber. A Jinchuriki of Konoha, Raikage spoke, towering over Naruto. You have skill, spirit. But skill alone isn't what earns respect in Kumogakure. Naruto gulped. You will spar with 3 of my elite guards. If you can stand for 5 minutes, I'll grant you rank. And so it began. Lightning chakra exploded around the ring as the 3 guards moved. Naruto dodged, parried, flipped, and with every dodge, he breathed. His clones worked cleverly, sometimes throwing shadows to pull attention while the real Naruto used his growing kenjutsu to strike from behind. Every guard pushed harder, and Naruto broke through every limit he thought he had. At the exact 5-minute mark, Naruto was on his knees, panting, bruised, clothes torn, but grinning. Raikage crossed his arms, then spoke. You are worthy. From this day, you walk as a shinobi of the hidden cloud. Naruto's fists clenched, and for the first time in his life, he felt he had a home not because he was accepted, but because he had earned it. Dash dash dash. But in the shadows, a threat stirs. Unbeknownst to Naruto, word of the Konoha Jinchuriki training in Kumogakure spread like wildfire. One night, deep beneath the village, a hooded figure stood atop a pool of black water, whispering. So Konoha lost their weapon to the cloud. Interesting. Their eyes gleamed red, like dying embers. Time to take back what is rightfully mine. 2 months into Naruto's journey in Kumogakure, the young shinobi felt like he was waking up in a different world every day. Gone were the looks of fear and whispers behind his back. In the cloud, they didn't care about the 9 tails inside him, only about his wolf, his growth, and the mark he left on the battlefield. For the first time, Naruto didn't feel like an outcast. He felt like a warrior, and that feeling was something he wasn't ready to let go of. But the hidden cloud was not as free of danger as it seemed. Storm clouds, both literal and figurative, brewed on the horizon. Dash dash dash, a world without easy forgiveness. Naruto's training with Killer Bee had intensified beyond anything he had ever imagined. What began as basic chakra flow and dual-wielding movement expanded to advanced kenjutsu, rhythmic evasion, and emotional connection with the Biju inside him. Yo Naruto, Bee said one evening, sitting on top of the training wall reef as the sun bled through the horizon. You've been walking your path, but you're climbing cliffs alone. That fox inside, he's the storm on your throne. Quote, Naruto blinked, confused, and then it hit him. The 9 tails, Kurama. He'd been so focused on external strength, he barely considered the beast still locked deep inside of him. Yeah, I guess I've been trying to ignore it, Naruto admitted, staring into the orange sky. I've always been scared of it. He turned, eyes narrowing, not with anger, but with experience. You scared, cause you think it's hate. But it's pain, big. Hurts so deep, like an open gate. That was the moment Naruto realized he hadn't been training him just for skill, but to prepare him for W8. But lay within, dash dash dash, night of the inner battle. That same night, Naruto was forced into a battle unlike any before. In the depths of his own mind, surrounded by the eerie dark waters of the consciousness realm, Naruto finally faced Kurama again. The monstrous fox towered over him, glaring with crimson eyes. A Jinchuriki training with another Jinchuriki. Kurama growled. You think you've become stronger. You think this, love from strangers replaces what's been broken. Quote, Naruto's fists clenched. You're right, I don't know everything, Naruto said, taking a step forward. But I'm finally trying to understand you. But Kurama stopped. You are still fragile, still weak. You want my power, claim it, prove it, and the fox lunged. What followed was a mental clash of chakra and raw emotion. Naruto was thrown through waves of red energy, battered by hatred that wasn't truly his. But every time he was struck, these words echoed in his heart. It ain't hate, it's hurt. For the first time, Naruto saw Kurama not as a demon, but as a creature imprisoned by fear and betrayal. I'm not turning away anymore, Naruto shouted, his own chakra swirling and resonating, creating a brief. GHT blue storm around him. You're not just a beast, I feel it. You're like me. You've been alone. Kurama's eyes widened, just a fraction. And for a heartbeat, the world turned still. Thunder rolled, but for the first time, there was no ground. Your fate will be decided, Kurama finally spoke. We are not finished, boy. And with that, the fox vanished into the shadows, licking weeds unseen. Naruto returned to consciousness drenched in sweat, but with a spark of triumph. He didn't win the fight. He didn't break the seal. But he had changed the battlefield. Meanwhile, in the land of fire, the council of Konoha was in a state of chaos. The Jinchuriki has been gone for months. Danzo slammed his cane on the table. We cannot afford to lose him, especially to Kumobukuro. Tsunade, who had only just taken up the role of Hokage, narrowed her eyes. He's not a weapon, Danzo. And he didn't go alone. Jiraiya ensured he'd be safe. Safe, Danzo shot back. Or brainwashed. He could turn against Konoha. The Cloud may use him as leverage in the future. The tension was rising, and Konoha was becoming desperate. A team was proposed, Anbu and Elite Jonin, to secretly monitor and retrieve Naruto. The world outside continued to darken. Dark whispers in the mist. Days later, in a forest bordering the land of lightning, 3 cloaked figures gathered in an ancient ruin. One stepped forward. The boy is alone. Vulnerable, they muttered, voice pulsing with dangerous calm. And if we strike decisively, we can remove a threat before it becomes a nightmare. The second raised his head, revealing ominous yellow eyes. And what of Killer B? That host won't leave him unprotected. A chuckle followed. That's why we'll separate him first. The third figure, face shrouded, leaned forward. Prepare the extraction seal. The Jinchuriki of Konoha, Naruto Uzumaki, must not leave the cloud alive. And the forest trembled. Akatsuki had made their move. The storm on Naruto's horizon. Back in Kumobukuro, Naruto had never felt more alive, or more anxious. During one of his training sessions, his body froze. The air felt colder. His instincts flared like fire, as if something sinister had crossed into range. He noticed it first. Yo, Naruto, hit. You feel the tremor in the wind. Quote, Naruto nodded, eyes narrowed. Someone was coming. Someone dangerous. And for the first time, Naruto wasn't running. He was preparing to face it. The night before the attack, Naruto stood atop the village walls, feeling the weight of the lightning-filled sky above him. Maybe, this is what being strong really means, he whispered to himself. Not just power, but knowing who I want to protect. He clenched his fists, and in the reflection of a distant flash, his eyes glinted with stormlight. Would Naruto's new bonds be enough? Would the truths he learned about power, pain, and connection carry him through the coming threat? And what would the shinobi world become, if the boy who once sought only acknowledgement found a new purpose in the clouds? The night was thick with tension, as if even the air was waiting to exhale. Naruto stood at the highest point of the Cloud Village, watching the sharp white streaks of lightning dance across the sky like dragon tails, flashing with the swirling darkness overhead. His heart was racing, not from fear, but from realization. The world was not done testing him. The peace he thought he found here was only a pause in a much greater battle. His instincts were screaming, and no matter how much Killer B tried to assure him the danger could wait until morning, Naru couldn't shake the feeling. Something was coming. Yo kid, come back down here, B pulled up, leaning casually against the railing of the training center steps. A storm ain't something you fight. You flow with it, just like I taught you. Let it pass before you start to spin. Naruto smiled weakly, still staring at the sky. I know, but this feels different. Like something's watching, waiting. I can't explain it. Quote, B's eyebrows raised. He walked up to Naruto's side and took in the view. Well, just don't let it control you. Fear's a leash, kid. Hold the chain, or it owns you. Naruto nodded, the words landing heavily in his chest. B wasn't just a master of blade and rhyme. He was a warrior who knew what it meant to be a host, to carry a burden so big you either drowned under it, or learned to ride its waves. But even so, Naruto's inner waters were far from calm. Akatsuki sets its trap. Miles away, 3 dark figures press shadows against the night, slipping through the trees like whispers made flesh. Their chakra was suppressed, nearly invisible. Their intent, anything but. By now, the scouting clones should have marked the chakra pathways near the cloud perimeter, spoke the lead figure, whose voice struck with deadly confidence. Once B is isolated, we target Naruto. We capture the Nine Tails first. He's unstable, easier to break, but if they see us coming too soon, the second warned, his voice raspy and cold, we risk both of them fleeing into the mountains. And then, the Raikage will intervene. Quote, the third cloaked figure with silver eyes tilted his head. That fool won't matter. The best hosts are those who've been isolated. He paused. That boy, Naruto, has been isolated his whole life. Even here, I imagine. Quote, silence. Then the leader spoke again. Do not underestimate him. The Nine Tails is not like the others. If Naruto regains balance with that beast, he could surpass even Jinchuriki like B. Their face curled beneath their mask in something like a smirk. That's exactly why we'll strike tonight. Clouds groaned overhead as thunder crashed down like a warning. Dash dash dash. Breaking the seal inside. Back in the hidden cloud, Naruto's eyes snapped open as a pulse of pure killing intent hit him like a shuriken to the spine. He didn't know where the feeling came from, but his body moved before his mind did. His hand fell across the hilt of his kunai, but he didn't reach for metal. Chakra, blade, memory. His kenjutsu training kicked in. He summoned a blade of chakra, refining it into a sharp-handed invisible construct, then leapt off the edge of the training platform, landing silently on the grass below. His heart hummed. That wasn't just instinct. That was Kurama. When Naruto had fought inside his mind before, he'd only glimpsed the deeper truth. Kurama wasn't just a source of power. He was a sensor, one that read the world like a storm reads the sky. And for the first time, they were aligned. You feel it now, don't you? The fox's voice echoed in the back of Naruto's mind, still distant, still rough, but clearer than ever before. The ones you fear most are not the people of Konoha, not enemies you've faced before. Kurama's eyes glowed like molten fire from the darkness of the seal. It's the shadows you can't fight. The threats that come ready to tear away what little you found worth believing in. Quote, Naruto clenched his fists. You're saying they're already here. Kurama said nothing. He didn't need to. Naruto understood. Dash dash dash. The first strike. The first enemy came like living silence. Naruto spun around just in time to avoid a spike of blackened chakra that drilled into the ground where his chest had been an instant ago. His eyes shot wide as his attacker materialized, the cloak bearing a symbol he'd only ever seen in passing, in silent fear. A red cloud. Akatsuki, Naruto muttered, his voice lower than usual. You really came, for me. The masked figure tilted their head. You speak as though we haven't watched you for years, they said. Their voice was unnervingly soft. We'd been waiting for the day you grew just strong enough to be entertaining. Quote, a chill ran down Naruto's arm. But he didn't back away. He stepped forward. They won't touch me, Naruto said, voice steady, chakra rising. And they definitely won't take me anywhere. The masked figure took one step forward, but in that moment, Naruto moved. A single blur of orange streaked through the grass. The chakra blade in his hand erupted, clashing against the stranger's materialized sphere of black chakra. Dash dash dash, and at that exact second, the ground shook. A second Akatsuki member emerged behind Naruto, launching needles laced with paralyzing poison. Naruto twisted in midair, barely, when another chakra pulse struck outward from within him. Kurama's chakra boiled through the skin in a thin shockwave that shattered the needles and burned the grass beneath. His feet. Naruto landed hard, panting. He didn't think, he felt. Something was different now. The Nine Tails wasn't hostile. Not in this moment. Not when the threat was in front of them both. They moved as one. Thunder cracked, and Killer Bee appeared in a burst of cloud and electricity, swords humming with barely restrained chakra. Don't worry, Naruto, I got your sixth, he shouted, drawing a perfect arc through the air as lightning screamed. You messed with the wrong Jinchuriki, now we're boosted, not sick. The fight began with lethal grace. Dash dash dash, roar of a living storm. Naruto and B worked together with chaotic synchronicity. Naruto's chakra blade extended and curved like an animal claw, slashing with precision while B danced them. ND clashed with blades that sang in perfect rhythm. Chakra tore through stone, ground split, sky roared, and yet, Akatsuki held the ground. "You're not ready," one said. "That power inside you, still not something you can trust." Quote, Naruto's teeth clenched. He thought of Konoha, of being isolated there, of being accepted here. Then he thought, no. He knew, "I don't have to trust the world," he said. Just as a third Akatsuki emerged behind him. "I just have to trust myself." The Nine Tails chakra burst out like wildfire, and Naruto, for the first time ever, entered into a formed partial cloak, three tails, pulsing, balanced, no longer driven by hate, but by something different. Connection. He looked toward him and smiled. "That's it, kid, now you're on your track." Together, they pushed the Akatsuki members back into the trees, but just as the final blow struck, a dark voice echoed overhead. "You groan," the unseen figure spoke, as the sky released a long, violent rumble. "But you're still nothing more than a vessel." Naruto looked up, and saw another masked figure, stepping from the storm clouds themselves. "Let's see if you can handle what comes next." Dash dash dash. And then everything went white. A massive explosive seal ignited beneath the earth, severing Naruto's footing, throwing B off balance. The world flipped, and before Naruto could react, a cold chain snapped around his ankle, and something dragged him into the void. The world spun into a chaos of light and shadow as Naruto was ripped away from the battlefield. His senses blurred. The roar of thunder died into silence. The warmth of Killer B's chakra vanished. Even Kurama's voice flickered into the distance. All Naruto could feel was the cold pull of space ripping apart around him. When the chaos stopped, when everything went still, Naruto opened his eyes to find himself standing in a field of endless white. A cold wind whispered in the void, and there was no ground, no horizon, just a light that didn't glow from anything real. A genjutsu, a sealing dimension, or worse, Naruto suddenly realized. He wasn't alone. From the shadows emerged a tall, slender figure clad in swirling patterns of black and red. His orange mask gleamed like a demon's eye, the single hole staring directly into Naruto's soul. "Toby, you've grown," the masked man said, voice deep and unbothered. "But you've only grown enough to prove what I've always known." He stepped closer, the space between them warping like ripples in a lake. "You are not just a threat, you are necessary." Naruto's eyes narrowed, chakra flaring instinctively. "Why are you doing this? What do you want?" Toby paused. "What I want." He tilted his head. "Peace." The word stung like a knife. Naruto could feel his fists trembling. "That's a lie," Naruto spat. "You're trying to force everyone into some twisted version of your peace." Quote, but Toby only gave a low, echoing laugh. "You still think the world will accept you so easily? You think a village like Konoha, or even this place, will ever see you as more than a vessel?" Naruto clenched his teeth. His mind flicked back to Konoha, to the cold stares, the whispers, the pitying looks. But then he remembered A, B, Yugito, the Cloud children who cheered for him during his first Kuma training match, the people who accepted him not because of the Nine Tails, but despite it. His fist surged with chakra. That was before. Things are changing. I'm changing. I'm earning that respect on my own. The masked man stopped. The silence almost cracked the fabric of the void. "And what about once you fail?" he asked quietly. "Once you lose, something you can't bring back." Naruto's breath halted. Toby's voice deepened, chilling the air. "There will come a day when even your bonds fail you. And when they do, remember this moment." Quote, and before Naruto could react, the space erupted into dark spirals. The chains that held him glowed, and Naruto was gone. Dash dash dash. The devil's bargain. Naruto's body fell through an invisible rift, crashing hard against wet stone. Pain shot through him, but his instincts awakened. He flipped, rolled, grabbed soil, and rose into a battle stance. He wasn't in the cloud anymore. This was a cavern, Massive, underground, walls lined with seals that pulsed in a sinister pattern. A river of red light flowed through the cracks of the floor like liquid blood. And on a raised platform, cloaked in darkness, stood the three members of Akatsuki that had attacked him earlier. Behind them, a massive statue towered, a monstrous, skeletal stone figure, breathing with a hollow heart. "Welcome, Jinchuriki," the leader said. "This is where you will begin your transition into myth." Naruto stared hard. "You think I'm gonna let you seal the nine tails?" Naruto said, his chakra rising like a storm. "You've got no idea what I'm capable of." "Oh," the figure replied with a calm smile, "We're quite aware." The three descended, chakra pulling into shape. One summoned his curse-marked chains, another channeled water infused with venom, the third wove shadows into tangible spears. And then, from behind Naruto, a voice struck like lightning. "Oh yeah, if you're aware, then let me show you some flair." Naruto turned. Killer Bee. He stood battered, bruised, but unbroken, eight tails flickering wildly around him like rising storms. "Sorry, kid," he said with a grin, "but I ain't letting you hobble the spotlight. We're two Jinchuriki, we get rough or die fighting." Naruto felt warmth spread through him, the warmth of being guarded, valued, believed in. Something erupted inside his chest, a force equal parts pain and purpose, darkness and hope, and then he felt the truth. Kurama did too. The air burst with jagged chakra, glowing like fire and lightning combined. Naruto wasn't just fighting with Bee. He was fighting with his Biju. Dash dash dash. The roar of unity. Kurama's voice surged like a storm inside his chest. "You may rely on others, but you stand alone on the final step." Quote. Naruto's eyes closed tight. That familiar smile curled. "I'm not alone anymore," he said. "Not ever." The seal broke, not in destruction, but in recognition. Kurama's chakra released with a force unlike any before, golden white fire tearing through the cavern walls, illuminating the darkness white. The purity of life energy fused with war broken rage. Naruto rose into it, and for the first time, his chakra didn't burn him. It flowed. His coat turned to golden fur, swirling with the intensity of a living sun. His eyes glowed with trust, not only in himself, but in the beast who once hated him. And when he spoke, his voice shook the earth. "You messed with the wrong village." The cavern exploded, a battle etched in destiny. What happened next was a symphony of violence, light, and destiny. Bee, eight-tailed chakra unleashed, ripped through the battlefield like living thunder, shredding negative chakra with his blades, moving in a rhythm as wild as the beat of his rap. Naruto, in his new bonded form, flashed through space, faster than thought. Every strike exploded with tails of golden energy, every motion rippled through matter like a shockwave. Akatsuki fought savagely, but they had underestimated the one thing they could never control, a bond between Jinchuriki and Beast, forged not in hate, but in understanding. Naruto's voice boomed. "I am not just a Jinchuriki." Kurama erupted behind him, bearing fangs in tandem with Naruto's rage. "I am Naruto Uzumaki." The ground broke, the seals shattered, and in that moment, nothing could touch him. Nothing but destiny. Dash dash dash. And destiny was still coming. The battle ended with Akatsuki retreating, dragging their wounded into the portals of smoke. The cavern pulsed weakly with dying energy, and the monstrous statue fell silent. Naruto collapsed to his knees, gasping, but smiling through blood and tears. He leaned on a stone pillar beside him, panting but laughing. "You good, man?" he asked, wiping blood from his lip. Naruto nodded. "Yeah, I think I am." But deep inside, something trembled. The power he felt, the bond he'd formed with Kurama. It wasn't over. It wasn't enough. This wasn't even the beginning. Because now he knew the truth. He was no longer simply a tool of Konoha. He was no longer the boy trained by the cloud. He was becoming something else. Something no one had ever been before. A Jinchuriki with both confidence and connection. A shinobi raised by more than one village. A symbol not of chaos, but of balance. The world was about to change. And Naruto Uzumaki was ready to change with it. The forests of the Hidden Leaf were far behind as Naruto stood atop the towering peaks of the Hidden Cloud Village, staring out at a world that was both overwhelming and exhilarating. His journey had been dangerous, full of ambushes and uncertainty, but none of that mattered now. He was here, in the land of thunder, where the skies roared and the ninja trained with the precision of lightning. Killer Bee stood in front of him, arms folded, expression unreadable. The Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails wasn't easily impressed, especially by a loudmouth Genin. But Naruto wasn't the same kid who'd left Konoha. He had grown in spirit, in skill, and in purpose. This was his chance to prove that he wasn't just the Nine Tails host, he was a ninja who would change the world. Naruto's first test. Killer Bee tossed Naruto a heavy scroll. Yo, kid, this ain't no game. Lightning nature ain't friendly, it's wild and untamed. Naruto smirked, believe it. I'll tame it. He opened the scroll and was instantly engulfed in a storm of searing formulas and chakra diagrams. These weren't just jutsu, they were advanced, experimental techniques. And Naruto knew that only a fool would take them lightly. Let's see if you have what it takes, Bee said, clicking his swords together, creating sparks. The battle had already begun. First clash, Naruto versus Bee. Naruto rushed with a razor leaf, but Bee dodged, flipping with ease. Too slow, bro. I moved with the flow. Frustration grew, but Naruto held on. He built chakra, adapting, remembering the lessons taught by Kakashi-sensei, Naruto, and even Jiraiya, and then he heard another voice. Kyuubi, lend me your chakra. A smirk echoed in the back of his mind. He finally learned to ask. The ground shook. Chakra surged. Naruto stood in a cloak of blazing orange, eyes determined. The lightning converged. Naruto fused twin-style Rasengan with Killer Bee's lightning-infused training scroll. The result, Kraton, Storm Rasengan. The spinning sphere crackled with violent electricity. Even Bee raised a brow, now impressed. You've got talent, kid. Keep this up and you just might survive out here. Quote, Naruto grinned, breathless with confidence, ready to face the next test, to carve his own path not just as a leaf ninja, but as a warrior molded by the cloud. Thank you.